What's going on, Aries? And welcome to my channel, Alchemist. Justin here, and I hope you're having a phenomenal month so far. Get ready, Aries. But for those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, and shares. Your support really is just amazing, Aries, and it keeps us growing. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy Higher Self has brought you here. We're in for an amazing journey. And let me tell you why, Aries, because it is Celestial News Monthly. I'm about to get a sign or something like that. It's going to have like sparklers on it because I need like fireworks. This is a big deal, Aries. I'm being a little dramatic. What else is new? But Aries, with this monthly spread, whenever the sun moves into a new sign, we're going to talk about where the planets are at and how we can work with the energies. And just so you're all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one, so take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me, and never force a reading on a situation, okay? So with all that being said, let's jump into it. You know, I had to pause. I've been just kind of switching things up a little, Aries, just being a little silly. But Aries, your space has been cleansed. Crystals, feeling hot. Oh, nope, we're good. Just great energy all around here, Aries. I am going to break one of these bracelets one of these days doing that. But Aries, with these, I don't know if you see here, I have Zodiac cards with where Zodiac Oracle cards with where the sun and all the planets are at. I'm gonna pull an Oracle card from this deck, which is a newer one. I'm excited, and I'll be pull one for each of these, and then we'll get some details with the tarot. I need to stay on script. Aries. Before we get into this thing, these readings that I do, they're not gender specific readings, so apply these energies to people as they make sense for your situations, okay? And in case if y'all were curious, all right, that energy flew out there. The decks that I'm working with, I've included links for them down in the description box below, so definitely check that out if you're interested. But also down below some links for some other readers that I like watching here, so definitely check them out. One of them's in Aries. He's actually really cool. I like him. But yeah, go check that out, Aries. Go show them some love. Now, let's talk about this big old party that Scorpio's throwing in a sign, because you got Sun entering Scorpio, Mercury just entered like a day, gonna be entering like a day before, and then their ruler, well, you both of your rulers, Mars is gonna be and is still kind of hanging out in Scorpio there, but with the Sun. The sun's going to enter Scorpio on the 23rd of October, and that'll be about 12:21 in the afternoon Eastern time. And then we'll be there through the 22nd of November. And with this energy, Aries there, so this is a heightened sense of introspection. You know, Scorpio really goes, you know, really digs into like the deep. You know, they're all about bringing that anything in the darkness up to the light there. So really great energy for reflection, you know, introspection, and, you know, just really kind of journeying within and really kind of exploring those kind of deeper, darker sides of yourself there, Aries, and kind of giving them the energy and the healing they may need. But also, too, Aries, you may notice that this energy also comes with some emotional intensity, because Scorpio, they're considered the most intense sign of the zodiac. And so we want to be mindful, and, you know, them being a fixed water sign, you know, we just want to be mindful of, you know, just that, you know, just paying attention to any sort of like emotions that you might happen to be fixated on, or, you know, that really kind of get you riled up, or that get you kind of locked in there. But this is a great energy also for being able to bounce back from challenges, you know, because Scorpio is very resilient energy, very powerful energy, very driven. So this is a great energy for tackling any sort of difficulties you may have there, Aries. But this also is great too for, you know, getting, you may feel drawn to like subjects of like things that are taboo, you know, that, you know, and like the mysterious. So maybe you might think about getting into some tarot. Maybe you're doing some scrying. Maybe even working with some. Maybe even oh man, I just was reading about this like osteomancy. You know, maybe working with some bones or some trinkets there, Aries, pulling out your Ouija board. But be safe though. You know, do some research before we start tapping. You know, before we can start communing with the spirits. But yeah, very cool energy that we're getting into. And now we got Mercury as well. Mercury is going to be entering the day before on the 22nd of October, and will be there through the 10th of November. And with this is a great time of depth and of intimacy. This is Mercury in Scorpio is a very, very interesting energy. It does like a little more. It does a lot more kind of observing in a sense. It's very, very, very. I mean, intense is the name of the game, but it just is very. Yeah, it's like because Scorpio is considered like the detectives of the zodiac as well. So this is a great thinking energy for if you need to kind of solve. And I should have mentioned that with the other signs. For it's kind of like if you have any things you need to solve or any things that things like that, Aries. But also, this is very effective energy for discussing relationships, finances, and even mortality. Really nothing's off the table when it comes to Scorpio energy. And then last little bit, your ruler, which has been chilling in there for a while, in Scorpio, will be there through the 24th of, right up to about a little after Sagittarius season. But with Mars being in Scorpio, this is a very driven energy, and you've probably noticed this, Aries, that you've been, maybe feeling a little more intuitive, more resilient, a little more, maybe even feeling a little more secretive, and that's what I want. That's the word I was looking for with Mercury and Scorpio. It is a more kind of secretive type of energy, kind of more keeping to yourself as well, a little more reserved. But this is a great energy for just again tackling any sort of obstacles that we may need to, facing any challenges, any fears, anything along those lines. Mars and Scorpio is fantastic for that. Now let's go ahead and get into your first card here. Oh, and all right, that's how you start off a reading there, Aries, because you got the Blessed Day card. And I really feel like with this energy coming up there, I feel like theme to focus on this season, Aries, is to focus on the blessings that are in your life. The big and the small. Making it a pattern each. Maybe each time that you wake up. Thinking about. Thanking the universe for the abundance that you're getting ready to receive, or just taking a moment to just kind of looking around and really kind of just meditating in all that you have, really getting that energy of gratitude in a sense. And even even before you go to bed, I'm even thinking just like making this a routine of just even for like the protection that you got through the day, safe, that learned whatever it is that you learned during that day. And maybe even too just taking a moment to, like, as you're kind of lulling off into sleep, thinking about the things you've learned and areas that you want to grow in, and really learning to kind of communicate with or start to commune with like the spirits and things. And it's interesting too, because I like that there's this moth in the middle of here. I feel like that as you start to get into that practice there, Aries, and it's not that you aren't already grateful, but I feel like it's just like we can expand on that. Because I was just reading something where it's like when it comes to like the ratio of like negative to like positive thoughts, it can be as low as like anywhere from like 3 to 1, whereas, or even as high to like 30 to 1, which is really high, to have to be in all that sort of negative energy before we find that one positive. And I feel like that's part of how almost like society has conditioned us in a sense, because it's so easy to get wrapped up in that negative energy, but it does take a lot more effort and initiative to get into that more positive mindset. And it doesn't take away from the challenges at hand, but it just makes you appreciate the blessings a lot more. It's just like, okay, this is happening to me because of this. It's meant to, this energy is trying to show me this. I'm trying to, for example, I'm trying to get some stuff moving along here, but it's just like I'm noticing that I'm rushing it, and it's just like, all right, where I could be, at first it was like starting to feel kind of down. At first it's like, man, there's such that, this with how like high like rent is and things like that. It's just like, man. But at the same time, it's just like, well, you know what? Just take a breather, pause, get your savings, and then this clearly isn't the time yet. It kind of redirecting that mentality really can do some powerful things there, Aries. But let's get some tarot cards and get some more on this. Definitely giving me kind of like this like combination, sort of like Wheel of Fortune, like Empress energy type of stuff coming through here, Aries. Alright, let's see what's going on here. Oh, and then Loving the spirits do that. So you have the Six of Swords, the Six of Wands, the King of Wands, the Ace of Cups, and then there's that Wheel of Fortune there, Aries. And look at you, Jupiter energy here, abundant, just all over the place. And you know what, Aries, I really do feel that if you were to really, I mean, get and make this, channel your energy in that way. You know, I feel like it really kind of make that and very very intentional with this. I feel like that this energy will get you in this place where you start like the like different like doors will start unlocking for you for new opportunities and whatever that's looking like for you, and really kind of get you to this place of, and more so really getting a real strong energy of success in a way for with the Six of Wands. And I feel like it's again, you know, it's like however you start your day, whether you're going from night to day or maybe even day to night, however that's looking, you know, setting your future self up for success. And I feel like that is the best way to really kind of fill up all of your cups, you know, pouring more gratitude into that well, until that thing just, that energy just overflows. Because I feel like with the Six of Wands, you know, this can be a card of like fame, success, victory, and things. But it's like in order to really, I feel like, appreciate when those big wins happen. Taking those small little moments, appreciating the moth that's kind of passing by under the moonlight, or maybe noticing the flowers around, or maybe hearing the birds chirping, or even I don't even just enjoy maybe your you know first cup of coffee, you know, just whatever that's looking like, you know, just taking a moment and just like really like, man, how abundant, like look at all this abundance that's around me, you know, just like, oh, I even got chills just thinking that. And you know, that gets you in that sort of like Nine of Cups energy, and it keeps that wheel, it keeps you on. Because I like, there's another reader I used to watch, and I like how he would put it. It's like when we're talking about the Wheel of Fortune, it's not necessarily like riding that wave, you know, when it's just like, you know, oh, we're in the good and in the more positive times, and then we're in the challenges. It's about being in the center of the wheel. And when you're noticing that the negative energies are, you know, the more challenging energies are coming, it's just like, all right, here comes some growth. You know, just like, all right, let's I feel like it helps you just kind of plan better. It really helps you direct your energies in a stronger, more efficient type of way there, Aries. Because the King of Wands, he's a planner. You know, he's one that he's got a lot of energy to give, and yeah, I like that, Aries. All right. And you know what? One more thing, Aries. I was just thinking with the Six of Swords, that maybe for some, if you do, you know, when you do find yourself, because there's going to be sometimes, you know, it's I feel like sometimes it's easier said than done until it really kind of stays locked in. And there are times with the Six of Swords, sometimes you can feel stuck, and when you're in the heat of it, it can be hard to see that abundance in the moment. But there's this faith that I feel like is coming through here with the Wheel of Fortune as well, because Jupiter can deal with faith, spirituality, things like that. And I feel like there is trusting that everything that is happening, you know, while we're going through the Scorpio season, you know, because again, very transformative energy that Scorpio brings, that it is all in divine timing, you know, and that you are divinely guided in this, that it's everything all has a purpose in the end. So just a little something to think about. Now let's get some tea. And let's talk about Taurus energy. Some big Papa Jupiter want to pop up here. You got Jupiter that's Jupiter and Uranus are still retrograde in Taurus. And then we're going to have a full moon lunar eclipse that's going to be happening in Taurus as well. But let's talk about Taurus energy first. Let's talk about Jupiter first, since Jupiter want to pop up here, because Jupiter is going to be retrograde until the pretty much the end of the almost the end of the year, the 30th of December. And with this energy, Aries, this is great energy for reevaluating your approach to wealth, investments, and material comfort, even to how like your self-esteem, you know, because Taurus deals with just, yes, it covers all the finer things and material stuff, but you know, the big thing with Taurus is about security and having that foundation and feeling comfortable, you know. And This could be too, Aries. If you're finding areas that you aren't feeling comfortable in, feeling the foundation's kind of rocky, this may be a great energy for you to seek out some advice, whether it comes to managing your finances, or maybe it's learning different investment strategies, or maybe even some might even consider possibly getting even like a self-esteem thing, possibly, or whatever that may look like. Maybe getting a life coach or anything along those lines, but you have really great energy for thinking about the long term, because Jupiter is very abundant, but with being in Taurus, it kind of slows down a little bit. And it's just like, how can we get it to really get our money's worth in whatever it is that we're investing in. And then you got Uranus that's going to be retrograde until the 27th of January next year, 2024. And with this, Aries, this may you well, and I mean Uranus has been chilling there for the last 5 years, and it still has a few more years to go. But you'll there's been all these changes when it comes to like currency and investments, and like even our economic structure. And one thing too with Taurus, because they're being empress ruled and so rooted to the earth, you may notice a heightened awareness in like environmental issues. So you may want to do more things like maybe do more composting, more recycling, maybe invest in like more sort of like natural energies like solar, wind, water, all that stuff there, Aries. And last thing, with this lunar eclipse, that's going to be happening on the 28th of October. And with this is a great energy for reckoning any kind of like debt, any like old debts, getting finances in orders, and investing in like the right things and people. Again, it's just about thinking about that long-term security, looking towards the future. And if we're noticing things that are starting to get a little rocky, starting to invest in that more. Putting our energy and getting a game plan with that. Talking about that King of Wands energy. But let's go ahead and get your oracle card here. There's I was just thinking with that blessed day too, that there's this energy of passing those blessings along as well, kind of wishing people a best. Not that you don't already do that, but maybe more so making that a point, being really thoughtful with it, just like kind of like really seeing as just like, hey, passing, sending blessings your way, or however that may look for you. That's just something that something really nice that just sort of popped and just kind of spread the abundance around a little bit. But oh, and look at you. You gotta be your charismatic self, because look, you got here the eternal charisma here, Aries. And so I feel like with this, it feels like the universe really wants you to kind of tap into this, that sort of that charming energy that you have. Because fire energy, I feel like is it's fun, it's passion. And I feel like your sign is one. I feel like usually when people think Aries, you're just like, it's oh, Aries is aggressive and this like that. But Aries, you know how you are, you're smart. And I feel like what Aries energy really does, it sparks a fire in others. Really gets people motivated. As the cardinal fire sign, I feel like that's a powerful energy to have. And then being Mars ruled on top of that, it gets people driven. And I feel like that if you were, once you really start getting into like even more so embodying, I feel like this gratitude, and then this like charismatic side of yourself, that it does start to spread that around, and it gets people motivated in a way to start living in their higher vibrations as well, and really start getting this and really just start making, starting to tip the scales in a grander type of way here. And that's really cool, because I feel like yours is one, we all have the capacity to be leaders, but I feel like Aries is one that really does it in a really cool type of way. Like I remember that reader I was talking about. I was watching I have a bunch of Leo in my chart, and I was watching a Leo reading, and there was something that was said that it got me it got me riled up, and I really had like this kind of visceral sort of like a, oh, it was like my like almost like a call to action in a sense. It was really really cool, and I feel like that's something where it's like the, you really learn to hone that gift that you have. I really feel like you can just raise the vibration through the roof and be, and not even just like a leader in, I don't mean not like a leader in just like a traditional sense, like, like going for like management or like a leadership, like politics or whatever that's looking like, but just even just like a, almost in a sense like a spiritual leader, but just like our, but like a, almost just like an everyday leader. You're starting off the day just like, hey, bringing that spring energy. That the way kind of waking everyone up in a sense. Getting them out of hibernation. It's just like, yo, we've been in the same routine. Let's get going. Let's get successful. Let's get, you know what I mean? Just like fire. That was a little aggressive, but let me get some tarot on that. Let's figure what's going on with all this heat. Wait. And I like this too because you're getting a lot of, I mean, you got moth ears, you got butterflies, you got a lot of creatures that are going through this metamorphosis here, and so yeah, something I feel like is trying to come out here, Aries. Something more. It's like this more kind of confident energy in a way, or more. Let's see what's going on here, Aries. Heat, love it. Knocking. Okay, let's not knock the mic over. And Leo energy, I'm with it, because you have the Strength card here, Leo. You have the Ten of Cups, the Eight of Swords, and then the Eight of Wands here, Aries. And I feel like that this is, it's like I feel like the universe is trying to get you one. If you've been feeling a little stagnant as of late, Aries, I feel like the energies are trying to get you where you motivated first. If you've been feeling kind of down, really tap into your inner strength there. Start harmonizing with your energies there. You see that infinity sign there, Aries, that you get in sync with your stuff. Because maybe for some, if you've been feeling maybe here over the last whoever knows how long, maybe you've been feeling a little stuck, maybe a little trapped in your head, not quite sure what direction you're going, not quite figuring, been maybe thinking about these kind of larger than life questions. I'm kind of feeling with the Wheel of Fortune here. I feel like there's something here is trying to pay attention to these energies. I'm not. Because I feel like if you were to tap into this inner strength in a sense, it's just like you'll really start. One, you'll start feeling this happiness, and it'll become this sort of like this genuine type of thing, and then as it goes on, you'll start radiating that energy. Because Leo, they're ruled by the sun, and I feel like that as you start to you give that off, that energy is contagious. That charisma that you keep, I feel like you're able to tap into, that you have. And let me get a little bit more with this Ten of Cups here, though, Aries. Absolutely, Queen of Pentacles. All right, thank you. All right, Aries. Oh, interesting. All right, so the Ten of Pentacles, or excuse me, Ten of Cups is clarified by the Queen of Pentacles, and then you got the Devil here. And both for me, that's strong Capricorn energy. And I feel that there is this. There's some sort of resources that I feel like that are being tapped into, and maybe there's something here, Aries, that we may need to get eyes on that might be affecting you from accessing these resources. Maybe this is maybe we have this low self-esteem, or there's this or whatever this is that may be kind of sapping away from your strength, you know, because the devil can cover all types of vices: drugs, drinking, alcohol, food, people, whatever this is. But I feel like that it's not trying to, you know, the more that you work on this, the more happy that you'll get to feeling. And I keep getting in my head this energy of like it's almost saying like a fake it till you make it, but because it's like, you know, when you've been in kind of like a low vibration for a while, it can be hard. It can feel like that we're faking it at first, that we're not being our genuine selves. But that's why I feel like maybe start small if you've been feeling kind of down here over this season. It's just like maybe start with just like affirmations, maybe putting some. I remember having a buddy. I love telling the story. There's a buddy that I remember would he put little sticky notes all over his bathroom mirror, and they were always a little like little personal handwritten things, and I like that. You know, like every time you're kind of looking at yourself, you know, you're looking in the mirror while you're doing this as well, even like a little mirror magic there. And it's just like you're lifting yourself up. I've even gotten into this habit of in this routine of, you know, when I'm kind of like getting ready for the day, just kind of looking at myself and, you know, just saying like uplifting things like, you got this, you're gonna get this figured out, even if I'm not entirely sure how. You know, just that piece of knowing that like I believe in you, you know, that can go a really long way, Aries. So I dig it. All right, Aries. Speaking of, now since we're talking about optimism and we got their ruler out here, let's talk about Sagittarius energy. And this is going to be a nice one for you, Aries. Because like I said, Mercury's going to be busy. Mercury's going to be moving into Sagittarius on the 10th of November and will be there through the 1st of December. And with this energy, Aries, our thinking is going to become more optimistic, more open-minded, and more expansive. You know, so this is a great one too. I feel like, you know, as you're going through this season, you know, watch this metamorphosis that is happening, because again, you're starting off with two symbols of evolution during this transformative season. So very auspicious. But you may notice too, Aries, that you may express yourself more boldly and more honestly. Sagittarius is about, you know, really speaking the truth, but we do want to be mindful about coming in, you know, a little too hot, you know, where the truth may be, it definitely serves its purpose. You know, it's like we just want to be mindful of our audience, you know, that we're delivering that to, because sometimes we gotta pull, kind of dial it back a little bit and kind of, you know, maybe kind of come at it a little more gently. So just something to keep mindful of there. It's, you know, it's not that I'm saying we're lying, you know, but it's just like, you know, just coming at it diplomatically. And then you may also be drawn to travel as well, because, you know, Sagittarius are the adventurers of the zodiac. So don't be afraid to get out there, travel, see how we can grow, take that eternal charisma, all that gratitude, and definitely take that on the road, Aries. Spread that energy around. And then last little thing, this is a great energy for studying as well, just because, you know, being Jupiter ruled, you know, Jupiter's all about higher learning and evolution. Well, yeah, evolution and growing in things. So yeah, just something to be mindful of. And then on the plus side too, depending on where your Aries placements are at, this is forming a trine with your sign. And trines are the most beneficial aspects. You know, they bring about they bring about things with a very kind of Eight of Wands. Energy start moving really fast, you know, and it just kind of clears blockages and really kind of can create all these great opportunities. And so, you know, really take advantage of this, Aries, with this kind of Mercury, you know, bringing in this kind of mental energy to your signs here. It's going to be really really wonderful for you. But let's get an oracle on this and see just how beneficial this is. Thank you. Oh, look at you, Aries. So you got the grounding card here. And I feel like with this Aries, I really feel that, especially with all this gratitude, charisma, abundance that's coming through here, it's allowing yourself to, I feel like, really kind of just steep yourself in that energy. And when you're finding yourself in any sort of like turmoil or anything, finding ways to just kind of anchor yourself down and not get lost in like this sea of like of Scorpio season. I was just like picturing a boat on like it's like picturing this anchor going down to the bottom of the ocean, and really kind of getting rooted in you, so that you, even in the more kind of tumultuous times, you know that you're safe and know that you're protected, and you can that silver lining where it's just like, yes, times may be a little turbulent, but this is all happening for a reason. This is strengthening me and getting me to this higher vibration, is, helping me to accomplish things. Because, the devil, like I was saying, Capricorn energy, they're the achievers of the zodiac. When they set their mind to something, there's nothing that they can't do. But I feel that it's this, when you find yourselves really kind of grounded in this, I feel like, again, this positivity and things that really, I feel like this really is going to start changing this wheel in a sense, especially if we've been maybe feeling kind of stuck in a cycle, or feel that maybe fate has been kind of trying to, and maybe, and that may even be something too, Aries. That's fascinating. Maybe for some, maybe you've been feeling that the universe has been essentially almost like kind of tied you down in a way, and it's really kind of been trying to keep you still. And that might even be something to reflect on too, if you feel like that the universe is like trying to get out to get you, because that's never the case. If there's these pauses that are happening, there's a reason. Everything has a reason. It's not all, it can maybe feel all random and just kind of capricious, but there there does there is a divine energy at play when it comes to this journey. It's just that in order to really understand that, there's this connection that's needing to be had, that's a stronger connection with, however you connect to the source here, Aries, higher self, the ancestors, the spirits, the angels, whatever that's looking like for you. But let's get some tarot on this. Thank you. All right, Aries. So you have the Four of Cups, the Five of Swords, the Eight of Pentacles, and then the Page of Swords here. And I do feel with the Eight of Pentacles here that in order to get into this, I feel like getting grounded and getting comfortable with this change here is something that is going to be, it's going to take a lot of work, and it's going to take you getting into, it's hard adjusting to a new routine at first. And I feel that there are going to, you're going to want to be mindful of of others. I feel like, with the Five of Swords, this could be like other people's perspectives, and considering Five of Swords, Page of Swords, because the Page of Swords is a very active thinker. And I feel like we want to be mindful of how maybe others can affect our charisma or our optimism, or affect our vibration, because I feel that there is this energy with the five, or excuse me, with the Four of Cups, of, kind of like almost apathy in a sense. It's just like maybe for some, this anchor again feels almost like that there's this, it's like this weight, and now we've gotten comfortable to this point of where it's just like, well, maybe things won't go my way, really kind of feed into those kind of lower vibratory thoughts, when again, it's not meant to try to slow you down in a sense. It's getting you to pause and to reflect, and seeing what energies need to be fixed. Maybe we've been going about something the Eight of Pentacles is about really working efficiently, with your energies, because the Pentacles deal with more than just money. It deals with like your manifestation, your health, all of that. So it is doing an internal kind of check-in here. And the Four of Cups too can be like a card of boundaries. When it's like others are trying to offer you this negativity in things, it's just like, no, we only take up optimism here now. And it's because I feel like it's one thing, again, it's not like we're ignoring the issues, but if we're just focusing on how all things kind of suck, that's counterproductive to the growth there. Sure, okay, it's just like things can be it may not feel like they're in a great shape, but it's just like, what can we do in the present moment about it, because otherwise, if we stay in that energy, it's just going to keep us stuck, and then it keeps us from seeing the abundance, and then we're in the ocean, and it's a hard time. But and I do feel like, again, with this practice and this kind of steeping in that more kind of positive energy there, Aries, people are going to, again, that kind of stuff is contagious. Just as negativity can spread around real fast, so can positivity. I have I have some people that I'll, when I'm going on my walk, I have some people that that's kind of the time where I kind of get caught up on messages and kind of will talk to some people, and I'm always kind of coming in, hey, 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 what's happening? And, just really just bringing the sunshine there, really tapping in my Leo energy. And it's just like, I remember talking with the Scorpio actually, and they were just like, I really appreciate that when I first hear that. It's just like gets me kind of uplifted in a way, and that's where I feel like you can have that sort of infectious what's the word I'm looking for? You can be infectious like that, Aries, man, but in a great way. You know what I mean? All right, yeah, words just kind of fell out of my head there for a second. That's fine. Moving on. Let's get some tea, and let's talk about Libra. Because Venus is coming back home. The Empress is going to be entering Venus on the 8th of November, and will be there through the 4th of December. And with this energy, Aries, there's an increased emphasis on harmony, cooperation, and diplomacy in relationships. Libra is, they all about are all about keeping balance and being fair and open to one another there. So this is very, very wonderful energy for Venus to be in. And two, you may notice there, Aries, that there may be like a heightened interest in like art and fashion and design, because being, Empress ruled, or being Venus ruled, I'm gonna have to put like a disclaimer. Just every time I mention the Empress, I'm talking about Venus. But being Venus ruled, Venus deals with art and beauty. Libra is all about that art and beauty as well, bringing balance and aesthetics and things. So this is a great energy for you too. Tap into that more artistic side of yourself, whether this be maybe in like fashion, or maybe, this could even be like graphic design, or maybe you're doing like an architecture, maybe, working on, maybe, painting up your, maybe giving a nice little paint job to your car, putting on some maybe cool designs, something like that. Aries, just kind of really tap into that more artistic side of you as well. And you're a very prolific sign, Aries. I have one of my nephews. He's in Aries, and I tell you, the boy just cranks when it comes to music. It is just wild, and it's solid. So I feel like you really do, and you rule over the head, Aries. So it's just like, really take that intelligence and really kind of allow that inspiration to just run wild. And then one thing to be mindful of is just that, because Libra likes to keep things balanced, well, let me put my teeth back in my mouth. Just because Libra likes to see all fair sides and, kind of make balanced decisions, we want to be mindful of indecisiveness. Just because, like, they're the types that if they can't find a balanced solution, then they're just like, then we're not doing anything. It's just something to be aware of there, Aries. And one other thing too, depending on where your Aries placements are at, this is forming in opposition with your sign. And oppositions are tougher energies, because they're Libra is your opposite sign, and trying to integrate those two signs of polarities can be difficult, but it is not. It's very possible, And it's one of those. Usually with oppositions, it's like either like people or situations tend to have us make a decision there. So just something to be aware of. But the nice thing too that is happening with Venus, it's a more kind of beneficial energy, so it definitely can work out there in the long run. So let's get an oracle on this. Oh, see, and didn't I tell ya? You got divine guidance here, Aries. And that's what we were just talking about. And so, if you needed proof, this is what I was, here it is. This is where, sometimes we need to be patient, when it comes to this journey. There are things where, I feel like a lot of the times we want things to move a lot faster than they are. And sometimes they do. And then in other times, we got to let the universe kind of catch up, especially when we've done, if we've done everything we can to get a situation moving. Now we just kind of wait, and sometimes in being with the abundance that you have and the blessings that you have in this moment in time. And I feel like it's one of those things where in the moment, it may feel that it's just like, well, why did I need to wait on this? Things could have been blah, 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 blah. There may have been some other lessons that we needed to learn in the meantime, some things that we needed to reflect on so that the universe can make sure that we're ready to handle what was coming next. You know what I mean, Aries? And and I really feel like it was, for those when we were talking about that kind of that Four Cups energy, that sort of apathetic, like not really caring about life, or, that it's just like, this is just kind of whatever, the universe is just, it doesn't really care about me. Absolutely does, Aries. But it is just, yeah, sometimes we just need a moment. Higher self needs a moment to just kind of cook up what you're throwing down there. The ingredients. They need to be, just kind of. I don't know why I thought that. I was picturing like this, like a hibachi place where it's just like they're cooking in front of you, and it's just like you see the abundance, you see like that it's like the food is ready, you're ready just to dive in. And even then, after they serve the plate up, we got to let it cool off a little bit, and really get into that. But everything, it's let me get some let me get some Tamara. Oh, okay. See, all we had to do is wait there, Aries. Oh, and look at that. We got the Three of Pentacles, the Five of Pentacles, and then, the Sun. And I like that, Aries, because I feel that with this, sometimes I do feel with this journey, and listen, I feel we've all been there at some point in time, where we do feel alone in all of this, where we feel kind of almost just like impoverished, that it's just like everything is just kind of taking away from us, or that there's never enough, it's just like there's always more work to do, and always more and always more. But I feel like the Sun here, if it will stop running away from me, and maybe that's how we're feeling, that the Sun is elusive, that we can't seem to like, no matter how hard we try, it's like the happiness is just fleeting. And I feel like that part way is that mentality that we're working on, if that's something that's resonating with you, again, to appreciate the kind of smaller things. And then that once we get into that sort of habit, that makes the positive energies last a lot longer. And because really it doesn't, that sunlight never really goes anywhere. It's just sometimes it sets, but it's always going to rise, Aries. And keep in mind too, and this is a really dope thing, just a little sidebar, the Sun is exalted in your sign. So after Leo, he feels right at home in your sign. And I feel that it's one that, because I like this Three of Pentacles, this could be a card of collaboration. And I feel like it is, it's working with with yourself, working, getting those energies in balance there, paying attention to areas that we are feeling kind of lacking in, and it's just like, how can we improve on that? How can we get these energies working in our favor, in a sense? And then I feel like once we really do get comfortable in that routine, where we're talking about Eight of Pentacles, then we start seeing things a lot more clearly. We can even shine sunlight on even the most kind of, even like the more darker times, or even in our darkest times as well. I'm even kind of getting like a Ten of Swords vibes, where, you can feel like at rock bottom, but the sun is always shining. And Aries, I think about this. There's a moment there for a little while. I was living in this. I was living in Colorado, and I remember sitting on the porch, and I had abundance all around me, and I remember just kind of sitting outside. This is when I was still smoking too, and I'm out there sitting out real early, and just kind of sitting out there and just kind of looking at the day, and just remembering feeling just so disgusted, just like really in just a really low vibration. And there was just in there, when I think back on it now, it didn't make sense in that moment, but it's like those energies there have allowed me to see things. And there's not to say I don't have my low days, of course, but they get a lot shorter. The more that it's just like, okay, we be with those energies, you feel that stuff, and then it's just like, okay, what can I do about it? And sometimes there are solutions there, and then other times we need to sit still for a second. This frog, I'm sure, is ready to go grab this dragonfly, but dragonflies are fast. Someday if you go lashing about, you're going to expend your energies, and then we're going to be tired, and then when the food really does come, we don't have anything left to go get it. But when we wait, and we wait patiently, and when things line up like they need to, then bam, you got your sunlight, everything's wonderful, we're groovy. I like that. All right, Aries, let me get a little more tea, and then let's talk about Pisces, because you got Saturn that's getting ready to go direct here, and well, depending on when you're watching this, a little less than a month now. So we're gonna be getting back to action here soon. And then you have Neptune that's still retrograde. But Saturn's gonna be going direct on the 4th of November, and will be in Pisces for the next 3 years. But with Pisces going direct now, the focus is on deepening. We've had time to reflect on what ways we can grow it spiritually, because Pisces is a very psychic sign. They're associated with the 12th house, and its energies of dreams, and also Jupiter ruled. And this is about really focusing on deepening a spiritual understanding, and really seeking a higher purpose in life. Really focusing on how divinely guided you are, and really listening to that guidance, trusting that intuition in order to receive all the abundance that is around you. Really make the most optimal use of your resources that are at your disposal, because all comes from within. We wouldn't have any of this stuff here if it didn't start with us being these beings of creation. But you may also notice too, Aries, that there may be trouble setting emotional boundaries, just because being Neptune ruled Neptune doesn't have any boundaries. And so that's something to pay attention to as well, that you may just paying attention to maybe how others may kind of come and influence your energies and things. And if you're noticing that people are lowering your vibration, just kind of putting a little distance between that, or maybe even trying to help them maybe see things from a different perspective there. And then you may notice too that because Saturn deals with like responsibility and discipline as well, you may notice like feel a sense of duty, towards your loved ones, your family, your community, because it does. Pisces really does have this universal compassion for all. And I feel like this is a really cool placement for Saturn to be, because now it's just like we're taking this initiative to connect with each other on a deeper type of level here. So There's something to really kind of think about there. Oh, I'm supposed about to forget about Neptune. And with Neptune, she's going to be retrograde until the 6th of December. And with her being retrograde, she's being the natural ruler of Pisces. She's been at home for a while, and I feel like that the energies have been starting to just ramp up with her since she's been there, because she stays in a sign, I want to say, for about 13, 14 years at a time, if I'm not mistaken. And this is a really powerful time of introspection and spiritual growth and learning. So it's like you couple this. I was just telling Scorpio this. You're coupling this energy of, this really intuitive psychic type of energy, and then coupling with like that the depth that Scorpio can access things. You can really, I really feel like transform in a very powerful type of way there, and really just kind of sit with yourself, whether this through meditation, or maybe getting by some water, getting into nature, or whatever that's looking like. I feel that there's a lot of growth and really beautiful energy that can come through with her being retrograde right now. And retrogrades, they deal with reflection. So yeah, when she goes direct, it's like getting ready to unlock those really powerful skills. But let's get your oracle card for this one and see what's going on there. Ooh, thank you. All right, Aries. So you have the Equilibrium card here. And I like this card because I feel that this is you getting your energies in tune with the universe. Really kind of harmonizing in a way. Kind of figuring out how your energies fit in with this vessel that you've chosen, and the energies that you've chosen, and then yeah, just like really kind of establishing this strong resonance again with your higher forces there. And it's like I feel like it's like picturing yourself as this water that's floating. Look at you, waterbender. It's like picturing you as this water in the air, and knowing that you can adapt. You have that flexibility to establish, no matter where you're at, that you can find your way back to source in a way. That's really beautiful, Aries. I like that. But if you've been, I'm even kind of getting like temperance vibes in this. Like if you've been feeling just a little out of whack there, it's kind of sitting with that. And what has got this water so not not boiling, but just like that has it so turbulent, or has it so, and focusing on what things throw you out of whack, why, and then finding the source of not just knowing it, but and finding the source of why these, we may be kind of thrown out of equilibrium, asking ourselves these kind of deeper sort of questions, grounding ourselves in that, in that discomfort in a sense, so that we can find that balance again. But let me get some tarot on this and get some details. Thank you. Oh, this happened for Scorpio too. And there's that Ten of Swords. Oh, and then there's Libra. So you have the Ten of Swords, hubby, the King of Pentacles, and then the Justice card here. And let's start. So with the Justice card being here, again, this person's got the scales in their hand. This is Libra's card, and it's, this is a question. This is a card of cause and effect. And again, I feel like it's like what is causing you know, especially if we've not been feeling in harmony with ourselves, or even with the energies that are around us, you know, what is that dissonance that's happening, you know, what what wounds I feel like are needing to be healed, you know, because it's just like we're trying to, maybe for some it's like you, if we've been having this tough time here, it does feel like that, you know, we've been trying to go on with this journey with all these swords stuck in us, and it does affect your abundance, Aries, and it can be hard to manifest like that, you know, when we haven't taken time to heal, to get ourselves in this state of harmony. And you know, considering that you got the King and Queen of Pentacles here, maybe this is something to deal with. Could deal with like a partner. You know, not necessarily saying that it's just like something about the people that are around you, and it's like surrounding yourselves, because the King and Queen of Pentacles are a very solid couple of the divine counterparts. You know, they are very stable, very rooted, very secure in what they're doing. You know, they know that through the celebrations and the hardships, they got this. You know, they know that what they need to do in order to keep these scales where they need to. And it feels like for some, it's just like if you've been maybe in this sort of hurt energy or something, that there's a need to kind of go within and to, as it makes sense, you know, try not to force that as well. You know, as, and I was, yeah, because yeah, Scorpio got something similar to to that type of energy, where it's just like, you know, needing to do like a, just kind of do some be inquisitive with yourself, you know, especially we've been feeling not quite ourselves as of late there, Aries. And I feel that that can really help you get on a more, help you get some solid footing in a way, so the water's just not just floating about per se, you know, it feels more, because it feels like maybe for some it's like we're not maybe maybe even comfortable in our own skin right now, you know, just like it's not, yeah, it's not quite feeling right, you know, just wanting to escape in a way, but it's just like how do we get it to where we're just feeling more at home, where it's just like we're yeah, I hope that that makes sense, Aries. All right, I like that. All right, let's get a copy over here. All right, Aries, and let's get a little more tea and talk about Pluto energy, because Pluto is going to be in Capricorn until Aquarius season on the 20th of January 2024. And with this energy here, Aries, this can lead to shifts in power dynamics, because when you have the outer planets start moving, you know, this really does affect us, kind of like how this person's holding the world in their hand. This really does affect us on a global scale. Yes, it's going to affect us personally as well, because Pluto kicked my butt when he went direct. But you know, once things are going to start shifting there, you know, and because Capricorn can deal with authorities and corporations, and a lot of that stuff is going to get ready to change. A lot of things are going to start coming to light, you know, and there's going to be a breakdown of outdated systems. A lot of probably, you know, a lot of tower moments are going to be happening. You know, a lot of foundations are going to be changing that aren't trying to raise the vibration. And you may notice too that there's a heightened sense of responsibility towards societal and global issues, similar to kind of how Saturn is. So, and I mean, this really does make a lot of sense, considering that Pluto is getting ready to move into the humanitarian of the zodiac, Aquarius. You know, because they're all about freedom, you know, for not for themselves and for all. And yeah, we're the times are getting ready to change. And it's just like what part are we going to kind of play in that change there, Aries? And now, depending on where your placements are at, and you're going to need to know your time of birth for this, because Pluto retrograded back to the 27th degree and is moving back forward. Pluto's actually forming a couple aspects with some of my my placements, but this is going to be forming a square with your sign. And squares are kind of similar to oppositions, to where they're creating that tension. They may bring about delays, challenges, you know, even like kind of slowing down in like achievements and things, but that doesn't mean that we can't get the abundance. It's, I feel like squares kind of remind us that we can, how we can take actions and how we can stay grounded in the face of challenges. And I feel like, you know, it's a great energy too, you know, while we're in Scorpio energy. And it's not to say when this energy is, you know, gone, it's going to just leave, you know, but it is to remind us just that how tenacious we can be, you know, how resilient we can be there, Aries. Now, let's get your last oracle card here. Oh, interesting. Scorpio got this card too. So you have the, oh, so you might be going on some travels here soon, Aries, because you got the safe travel card here. And so if you are thinking about going on, because the Eight of Wands, that could be a little card of travel there. I think that's all the kind of cards really kind of travel that I'm kind of feeling with that. But, you know, this could be where we're going either on the safe travels, you know, maybe we're going on some sort of trips and things, which if you are, enjoy yourself there, Aries. But I also feel, and make sure we're being safe, but I almost feel too that, you know, just seeing how you have this tidal wave that's kind of happening here on the sea here, and consider you got your anchor, you know, keeping grounded. I feel like that I feel like it's like grounding yourself. If again, like almost like kind of journeying within in a way, you know, like safely channel, like traveling to that more kind of spiritual side, that intuitive side of you in a way. And it's like as you get comfortable with that discomfort and kind of start seeing that where we may need to heal in things, I feel like it's like this bird. It's like you start to see the storm from a higher perspective, and things just start making a lot more sense. And you know, maybe even for some, there may even be some kind of, because I mean, just like I thought you had another card of travel, and the Six of Swords can also be a card of like journeying by water, and I feel that there's something that could even be for some of you that are maybe kind of personal with the water there. Is and that might be a place where we can find some solace, you know, maybe just sitting by and listening to the waves kind of if you happen to be by some water, by the waves crashing, or maybe even just getting by a pond, or if you don't, maybe you might be landlocked, you know, maybe this could even be just like, you know, just kind of sitting in the tub, or just kind of like, you know, just kind of meditating while we're in the showers, just like. And I mean, considering too, then that you got your equilibrium, that water that was going on there, called your water bender. It's yeah, something I feel like about water could be very, very soothing, and can kind of bring this sense of peace in a way. Even kind of one more thing that sort of popped in my head there is being very intentional when you're consuming water as well, you know, just or any sort of beverage, and just paying attention to how that manifests, you know, just like, how do I want to put it? It's like how I'll tell, I have this other channel that I'll tell you about a little bit, of Cancer channel, and you know, I'll talk about making like new moon water and full moon water, which I didn't make any new moon water this last go around. I could kick myself, but you know, when you kind of leave the water out for the moon and let it charge, and you're just like, you're drinking with intention, or drinking to manifest, you know, it's just like, I'm like, let this bring about, you know, I don't know, spiritual healing, or you know, manifesting that new job, or that new apartment, or that new love, or whatever that's looking like, and then paying attention to the messages that come back to that, Aries. And Now let me get your last tarot cards here. Aries. Last little bit here. Oh, I like that. Got the Queen of Cups. Oh, I got one more down here, Aries. Oh, look at you. You really are getting intuitive there. Because you got the Three of Swords, the lovely Queen of Cups, and then the beautiful High Priestess there. And let's switch back over here, Aries. Because I feel like that really, even though you got the Three of Swords, the Ten of Swords here, because the Three of Swords can even be kind of a harsh card, you know, it's just like really kind of can be depressing type of energy, things that really kind of hurt us, or, you know, things that we may want to avoid, the sadness and whatever that is. I do feel like that these energies don't just have to be something that keeps you down, you know. We can let them be that if we want them to. They are great at playing the enemy if you'd like them, if that's the role that they need to take in order for you to grow. But when I feel like when we face our fears and these hardships and things, and really give them the space that they deserve, show yourself, because sometimes I feel like when we get into those energies too, we can kind of beat up on ourselves and get into sort of this self-deprecating energy. You know, make sure to show all sides of you compassion. You know, the Queen of Cups, she's very psychic, very empathetic, very compassionate type of energy, very healing. And I feel like that it's when you start making that connection with you, kind of again bringing yourself into equilibrium. You know, you start. It's just like, you know, the messages start coming through clear. You know, you're able to kind of hear those divine messages and to kind of trust that guidance a lot more, and things just start making sense. You just start intuitively moving in a way, you know. It's but the High Priestess too, this is the moon, and you know, the moon is like that, deals with like that, even like when we're thinking in astrology, like our moon placements, that's the where it's like your rising is like your house, your sun sign be like your living room. Your moon place is like your bedroom. You know, it's that private space that only those who really know you, you know, get to kind of see. You know, so the emotions, the subconscious, the intuition, and I feel like there's some things that we may be kind of keeping, me kind of maybe tucked away somewhere, but now it's trying to come to light. You know, so that you can really start being the powerful manifester that you are, and you're really just making the most of your resources there. You know, Queen of Pentacles, and you know, feeling abundant, King of Pentacles, and yeah, Aries, I think I'm gonna leave that there. So very nice. So if you like that, Aries, give it a thumbs up and share this, Aries, because I feel like, you know, really, I feel like especially how we started off, where, you know, that grounding and, or the blessings and the gratitude, you know, being that charismatic side to yourself, I feel like that really can go a long way and really do some really just raise the vibration, you know, just in a wonderful way. So definitely I share that, Aries. And then subscribe there, High Priestess, hit that bell button to get notified on all these videos each week. And then lastly, like, speaking of you getting our ruler there, the High Priestess, if you have any Cancer in your placements, Sun, Moon, Rising, come on over to the Chariot and Friends. I do videos Monday through Friday there, absolutely discuss lunar shenanigans, and it's a good old time. And all that housekeeping is down in the description box below. But let me get your surprise cards here, so I can get you out of here, Aries. Look at this, one of your cards, your hottest card. This is Mars in Aries. You got the Two of Wands. And so, you know, I feel like that you are, you know, I really feel this can be a very transformative, you know, season for you. And I really feel like this is one of, it's like, it's not necessarily forcing the action. It's just like intuitively, you're gonna know when to take action, when things feel right. You know, you'll be able to look how confident he is. You'll be able to move with that confidence and that assuredness that this is where, you know, the universe is trying to guide me. You know, this is the journey that I'm meant to be on. This is where I'm meant to grow and expand, and just pay attention to, you know, the things that you do and how they that affect, you know. But let me get your oracle card here so I can get you out of here. Interesting there, Aries. So you got the yin card here. And I like that. You know, that's very... This gives me an energy of really kind of, especially if we have some things that we need to, if we haven't been feeling that optimism, or we haven't been kind of seeing life for the beauty that it can bring. You know, there's this, you know, the yin energy is it's feminine energy, and there's this softness that I'm feeling that's needed to when we're going through this healing, that Queen of Cups energy. I feel like it's needed when we're dealing with these, you know, kind of Three of Swords, Ten of Swords type of things, those things that throw you out of equilibrium. And I feel that, and I like that too. You got some very intuitive energy here, because the Yin card is the second card, the High Priestess is the second card, you know, lunar energy. Yeah, I really wish I knew how to say. It's like it's almost like don't be afraid of being like softer with yourself in a sense, you know. And it's because it's not a weakness, you know, but it's because sometimes we're just like, well, why can't you do that? Be better, come on, you know, that's a lie. That's aggressive, and it's just like, what are we beating up this vessel for? You know, there's a I feel like a more constructive way as far as going about that, and that can lead to in that, you know, I feel like when we can find this, it's like a vulnerability, that's the word I'm looking for, you know, needing to be maybe a little more vulnerable with yourself, possibly, might even possibly sharing it with others, you know, however that makes sense. But I feel like there's real power in that, and then you'll be able to really kind of get into that Emperor energy and take charge and be able to go stable, you know, and confident with however you plan on spreading this vibration with your safe travels and things. So maybe spreading the charisma around, spreading the healing. So I dig it, Aries. But you stay safe out there, Emperor. Because you do. I feel like this is safe travels if you are planning on going on any sort of trip, or you know, maybe there's maybe again there's something about with water. You know, I feel like that's gonna maybe play a big role with your Aries. And like I was saying, raise your vibration to the roof. Especially if we've been feeling a little down, haven't been feeling as charismatic, or maybe as divinely guided, or however that may be looking, Aries. And I will catch you on the next one. Later.